The other piece of literature relevant to Drimnagh Castle is Marion of Drimnagh by Matthew Wells Hartstrong, published in 1814. It has been long described as the worst poem written in the English language, although I know a lot of contenders for that. Tony here had to tear his poem about it. This poem was savagely criticised when it appeared in 1814. As a poem myself, I'm greatly amused by the review that was given to this poem. As I have read 25,000 poems myself, as editor of the Broadsheet Riposte, I'm supposed to know the difference between a good poem and a bad one. So I'm going to read the critique, and I hope the critique of that particular, the worst poem in the English language. And I hope you'll bear with me. I'll try and cast myself into the role of this person. Right. One of the misfortunes which press upon us reviewers, in common with our readers, is the difficulty of detecting a meaning in the poem that's put before us. We cannot remember having suffered under such a calamity in any other degree during our perusal of this poem. Nor have we yet thoroughly made up our minds whether the author, throughout the entire of his work, is in jest or in earnest. At one moment we are willing to think that Mr. Hartstrong is desirous of exposing those failings and mannerisms which are abroad at this time, and that he has chosen a burlesque as the happiest mode of placing these absurdities in the most prominent view. At another moment we're inclined to think to suspect that Hartstrong is of sober motives, and that his poem is not intended as a burlesque, but a right, real, and most respectful epic. However, we are desirous of placing the author in the most favourable light, so we shall therefore regard Marion of Drimnagh as one of the best pieces of burlesque that we can relate. In framing the story as a vehicle for his burlesque, Mr. Hartstrong has introduced a set of personages never heard of before, placed them in situations the reader would never have dreamt of, and sent them to places that he does not know exist. According to the poet Lord Reginald de Bernwell, a lofty baron of France, passing over to Ireland with Henry Plantagenet, marries a lady of the name Lafont, has a son and heir called Sir Wolfram, from whom springs the heroine of the poem, Marion La Pluche Bloom. Because the castle and the domains of Drimnagh appertain to Marion in the event of her father's death, she is sought by many suitors, of whom our poet sings facetiously. Many a suitor sought Marion's fair hand. Some sighed for her beauty, but most for her land. How noble the banquet once spread in her tower, how sweetly this charmer sang in her bower, while murmuring gently, the soft flowing rill was heard in the distance from Drimnagh's sole hill. His proud banner the Barnable's battlements crowned, while his turrets in silent magnificence frowned. Now Marion's father and her suitor set off to the Holy Land on a crusade. Her suitor, however, was wrecked on a voyage and returned to his mistress in much distress. The poem goes on. But oh, from glory not long can a warrior delay, though beauty and goodness should tempt him to stay. Did Marion induce him to stay? Nay! Marion accordingly bandages up her suitor and sends him back to war. We are then introduced to a new character, Lord Castleknock, who has designs on Drimnagh Castle. Lord Tyrrell was his name. Tyrrell guarded his fortified rock, strongly manned his towers that guard Castle Knock. From the fury of foes and the fierce battle shock. However, Marion also refuses the advances of Lord Tyrrell with much disdain. So the savaging of this poem concludes as follows. There is perhaps rather too much exaggeration in our author, inducing false quantities and false spellings into his metre. Nor do we think that he is so ignorant as to place Byzantium on the top of Mount Ararat. Mr. Hartstrong does not appear to be aware of the long acknowledged truth that nothing spoils a joke so much as carrying it on too far. So that's the worst poem in the English language and what they had to say about it when it was published.
I've written worse poems than that.
I know that. I know you have. Now, believe it or not, the poem I'm going to read now, I regard as a better poem altogether. And it's written by Franz Kafka. We've heard of Kafkaesque. And it was actually translated by a Scottish poet in 1913 called Edmund Muir. This poem is excellent because of its unusual 5-line rhythm and structure, and because the poem embodies a huge philosophical truth. And it's called The Castle. The Castle. All through the summer at ease we lay, and daily from the turret wall we watched the mowers in the hay, and the enemy, half a mile away, seemed not to threaten us at all. For what, we thought, had we to fear, with our arms and provisions load on load, our towering battlements tier on tier, and friendly allies drawing near on every leafy summer road. Our gates were strong, our walls were thick, so smooth and high no man could win. A foothold here, no clever trick, could take us, catch us, dead or quick, and only a bird could have gone in. And what could they offer us for bait? Our captain brave, and we were true. There was a little private gate, a little wicked, wicked gate. The whizzing warder let them through. Oh, then our maze of tunnel stone grew thin and treacherous as the air. The cause was lost without a groan. Our famous citadel was overthrown, and all its secrets galleries laid bare. How can this shameful tale be told? I will maintain until my death. We could do nothing being sold. Our only enemy was gold, and we had no arms to fight it with. So finally, I'd like to read a poem by my good friend, longtime friend, confidant, mentor, Russ Shields. He wrote this poem in 1969, and we both published it in a little booklet together. You weren't expecting that, did you? It's called Blue, Bright Blue. Wandering through an early night, who needs a scarf when wrapped in love? Animosity seems so far away, with hate in an isolated cave. The brightest star on overtime, dressed in splendour, fit for a king, overclothed yet sublime, making me forget everything, till day arrives, uncontrived, all blue, bright blue, and you.